Welcome back to the Black Swamp Football Podcast presented by the Gherkin Companies. Along with Tory, Strock, I'm Lynn, Groll, and honored to have Napoleon Physical Therapy, Defiance Physical Therapy, Brian Physical Therapy guys here, Kevin McCann, a former great with the Tenora Rams, and Ryan Crandall, a former Napoleon Wildcat. Guys, thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Good to be back. Had a guest appearance last year. It was so much fun. I was beating down the door to get back.
I love it. I love it.
Thanks, Lynn. Yeah, excited to be here. Actually, a little bit nervous because I know a lot about 8 teams in this area, and now I'm looking at this list, and oh man, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, but I'm good.
Well, Kevin set the standard a year ago. If I remember correctly, you did pretty well.
I never went back and added it up. I just, in my mind, said that I did great, and then nobody told me otherwise. So
That's what we need. We need some stats, like you two versus the guest pickers every week. We got to see that.
I think we only lost once last year, and that was Coach Cromwell, maybe?
But we got some revenge
We got it.
a week ago
We get it.
against Coach Cromwell. I forgot to bring the exact numbers, but we won't embarrass Coach
I've got
Cromwell.
several on my list that whoever Lynn or Coach takes, that's who I'm taking. So if I defer and don't pick first, no, that's why. I'm just copying off the guys next to me.
So Ryan, you talked about being overwhelmed when you look at this list. If it's any comfort, I feel the same every week. Like you look at games like Shawnee and Kenton, and like that's a coin flip. And there's so many of those early in the season. It's a pick 'em.
I found myself picking the away team far too much, and I was psyching myself out just over that.
Listening to your show, one thing I've learned from Coach Cromwell is always take the home team on a coin toss.
Exactly. There you go.
He does like the home team. That didn't work out real well for him
No,
a
it
week
didn't.
ago.
No.
So don't put too much stake into that. First, we want to send our prayers to Celina quarterback Carter Wink as he is still dealing with his injury from Friday night. And the report we had this morning sounds better and better as he keeps improving. So Parker, we're thinking of you, buddy. Praying for you. Keep fighting. And we're thinking of the Celina program, the community, everybody down there. That's been a tough few days for them, and they're handling it very, very well.
Yep. I have nothing to add. Well said, Lynn. I concur. Thank you.
Yeah. Gherkin Companies, our title sponsor. We're going to hand out our first rock-solid performance of the season, courtesy of the Gherkin Companies. Here from the Gherkin Companies, come back and hand out our rock-solid performance from week number 1.
Hard-working individuals have been the heart of the Gherkin Companies for generations. We're a leader in road construction and building material supply, and we're experiencing rapid growth and expansion. As our name implies, the Gherkin Companies is several businesses rolled into one. Companies with different names and areas of specialization, each powered by an incredible mix of dedicated people. We're looking for passionate, caring, and trustworthy individuals who want to grow alongside us. We pride ourselves on offering a generous benefits package, continuous training, top-notch equipment, and a workplace culture that celebrates and rewards hard work. At the Gherkin Companies, we understand that where you work matters. So whether you have years of industry experience or are just starting your career, we encourage you to apply. Ready to take the next step in building a brighter future with us? Discover our current job openings at gherkincompanies.com/careers today.
Thank you to the Gherkin Companies, title sponsor of our podcast again this season. Also, our game cast coming up this Friday as we head down to St. Henry and Mac Country as the Redskins will host Arch Bowl on Friday night in what should be a good game. We'll get to that breakdown here as the show goes on. But first, we have to hand out our rock-solid performance from week number 1. Coach Strock and maybe Ryan and Kevin can help us out if we have a tie in our thoughts on this.
Well, I've got 4 teams, and there's some that you could mention because, like Liberty Center, obviously they were rock solid in what they did statistically in that Friday night. But I'm not going to include them. I have 4 teams. The Versailles Tigers, and I know Robbie Myers might be a little squeamish because he's got to go deliver the
Well,
the
I have to
award.
go with him, and I
Okay.
have to spend that time with him in his truck.
Okay, but their win over Harvest Prep, I mean, they slayed a big giant there, so Versailles should be mentioned. The Clay Eagles, I mean, all they did was knock off Wapak, and I know Wapak was hit by graduation last year, but that's no easy task to get that job done. The Defiance Bulldogs, I think maybe on paper, I know they were young, Napoleon was young, but I was impressed with Defiance's defense, and to go on the road for the second year in a row and pull out a 1-point win, that to me is rock solid. And then the Archibald Blue Streaks were very convincing Friday night, and they didn't play a cupcake in the opener. They played a really good Genoa team that's going to be a contender in the Northern Buckeye Conference. So I thought Archibald was rock solid, but I'm willing to listen to your nominees and these two gentlemen.
The Celina Bulldogs defeating the defending state champion St. Henry Redskins in a thriller on Friday night, and everything that they had to go through that night was rock solid in my opinion. And also the Swanton Bulldogs, snapping their losing streak, the longest in Ohio.
Yeah, how about that? They're still partying on Airport Highway. They're still partying.
Well, they got to get ready for week 2 here, so let's cut the party down.
Nah, I think this one goes on, man.
It goes on?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
You guys have any thoughts on our rock solid performance from week number 1?
I was surprised and impressed with the Celina win, so I would give you a little bit of a nod there. But I know St. Henry, they got rocked by graduation as well too. So, but hey, knock off a state champ. And down there in the MAC, that's pretty good.
That was the only team in the MAC to lose in week 1. Was St. Henry. Everybody else won in the MAC. Including Parkway, who did not win a game a season ago. And you look at some other teams, Elmwood, OG, and Swanton, all 0-10 a year ago, all won in week number 1, which was
it probably
kind of
is my wife's OG roots, but the OG score popped at me. That was
52-7 over LB. Yeah,
impressive win.
Yes, it was. I like the Swanton Bulldogs, man.
Do you?
I do.
Hey, I love it. I picked them. I thought they'd get it done.
I think these Clay's going to have, they have some bigger giants to slay. Versailles does too, Celina too, when they get into the WBL.
Yep. How can I argue with that?
I like the Swanton Bulldogs. Matt Horn in his debut.
Break the streak. I like the pick. Yeah.
Now I know.
Straight, right?
Yeah. I know they're going to play some bigger teams down the road here, but congratulations, Swanton. Rock solid performance for week number 1. You good with that?
I love it.
Great.
I love it.
Great. We're going to hear from Napoleon Physical Therapy. Going to come back and get a little more insight from these two guys on their new office here in Henry County after these messages. Big news for athletes and families across Northwest Ohio. Napoleon Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine is officially under new ownership, joining the trusted team behind Bryan Physical Therapy and Defiance Physical Therapy. We're proud to expand our care across Northwest Ohio, offering specialized services like dry needling, blood flow restriction, and weekly bump clinics for local athletes. Don't let aches or injuries slow down your season. Stop by our new Napoleon office at 1322 Woodlawn Avenue or call us at 419-599-0888 or learn more at defiancephysicaltherapy.com. Thank you to Kevin McCann and Ryan Crandall for their support this season as they open up their new venture in Napoleon. Guys, tell us a little bit about Napoleon Physical Therapy.
Yeah, exciting times for Ryan and I. We're excited to add our third clinic. And so this has been, maybe you might say, a little bit more of coming together. Jeff Wagner, would be remiss if we didn't mention him, the years of service he's given to the town of Napoleon, the surrounding area. And he's been, I think back on, I was just over there last week working in the clinic and talking about Jeff. He would have done my therapy back in 2003 when I injured my shoulder. So he was in Defiance at that time, moved over to Napoleon and has been in the PT game. I know Ryan worked for him as well. So
in the business,
yeah, so we go way back with Jeff. So it's really been just kind of this natural a blend for us, something we have kind of talked about for years. He's always been somebody when something changes in the industry, we give him a call or shoot a text. Hey, what are you doing about this or that? So, and the great thing, he's gonna continue to work with us, and he's gonna be managing up in our Bryan clinic a little bit for us, and going up there. So that's going to be nice. And yeah, so we're really excited to take over. We have started some renovations already on the inside of the PT clinic. And we're doing that, trying not to disrupt the business aspect of things. So we've been weekends, evenings, and stuff like that. But really, really excited. Some more major facelifts to the exterior of the building are coming probably in the next month. And we're teaming up with another Napoleon Henry County company with Beck's Construction to do that. So that's, yeah, I mean, exciting times for us, that's for sure.
Yeah, keeping it local. I think that was the theme. You know, Kevin and I have been talking about this, kicking the tires on this for years, Jeff included. And, you know, the biggest focal point was, you know, why are we doing it? And, you know, it goes back to you introducing us. You've got Brian Physical Therapy, Defiance Physical Therapy, Napoleon Physical Therapy. It's kind of weird, right? We haven't changed our name to one parent company, but we really strongly believe in community and having just kind of our hands and feet in the community, and having the community kind of feel like we're part of them too, because it's the truth. We ingrain ourselves in the community. We want to actually help the people that are coming in our doors. It's not just a business for the bottom line. So when we looked at doing this, it had to be a win-win-win. A win for Jeff, a win for Kevin and I, and a win for the Napoleon community. So we're just really excited about when I walk in that building, I just feel opportunity. And that just doesn't mean for me. I'm talking about for everybody, for the athletes that are coming in. We're going to be introducing blood flow restriction to that clinic. We're going to be bringing in dry needling, cupping, some techniques that just, you know, we've been doing at other facilities for years that, you know, the Napoleon community should be excited about as well. So that's probably what I'm most excited about is just, you know, well, first of all, it's my community. I live there, like 3 miles from the clinic. So just being kind of giving back to my community for the first time in my career. I've been working in Defiance for 18 years, so I'm still kind of grieving that because it's going to be a big change, but I'm going to be working over Napoleon a lot more, and Defiance as well, but you know, kind of pouring my energy into my own community is exciting.
You know, that's the great thing about you guys is you care about your communities, you care about the student athletes and the other folks that come into your clinics, and that's what's first for you guys is helping people, and that means a lot. I got to experience it earlier this year, and you guys are great. Can't thank you guys enough for the
really
support,
appreciate
and what you guys do is outstanding.
Yeah, I mean,
If you're winning money because your golf game got better, I do expect some type of return on this. But
I give it to this guy.
okay, yeah.
He does.
I feel bad for him.
He does treat me pretty well. But what I want to know, did he work hard when he came in for therapy, or was he a slappy?
The days he came in flip-flops, he wasn't really working hard. But the other days, he was getting after it.
if I recall, he kind of skated under the radar for a few treatments, and then I got my mitts on him, and he walked out glistening, and I was happy. So
I can't argue. Go even back further. What got you into this business, guys?
yeah, so I was
And
kind
your
of
friendship and starting this together.
It is kind of a, you know, when you start to talk about the history and why things happen and so forth. For me, I had shoulder surgery when I was in high school, so I did therapy, and I did it with Jeff at the time, was a therapist in Defiance. So that was my first introduction to therapy, and then, I went off to Findlay, was fortunate to play football at Findlay. Not so fortunate to tear up my left shoulder and had surgery on that. So my wheels were in motion on the therapy road throughout that, just from experience. But Ryan and I, we first met probably in 2008 in Defiance. At the time, Jim Kissel was the owner of Defiance Rehab Services. And so we did a clinical at the same time, and I would say we pretty much hit it off right off the bat. And so we were both working in Defiance then. Started working with Jeff or with Jim in Defiance, and then when the opportunity arose, took our shot at opening up. And I still remember, you know, feeling like we were laying it all on the line and staying up till 2 a.m. painting, Our wives didn't have each other's phone numbers when Ryan didn't come home one night. I think Audrey thought he was in a ditch, but
Facebook message your wife.
yeah.
Right?
So and now we're, families are growing together, and it's been quite a journey. So
It's definitely a family atmosphere when you go in to your clinics. I will say that. You feel like it's a family. Everybody in there gets along. It just seems like a big family, which is also great to see.
And I think that's what makes it unique coming into our clinic. It is going to feel like you're part of our family just by being a patient. Because our staff is so closely knit, that's one thing I'd probably have to attribute to learning from Jim Kissel, who's kind of our godfather of the physical therapy world. Just kind of treat people like they are your family, because in the real world, you spend a lot of time in those four walls. So they kind of are your second family. You got to have their backs and kind of make sure they know that, you're in this together.
yeah, and I mean, the challenge is, can you duplicate that? I think when we kind of fell into starting our Bryan office, and that's been a learning experience for us, just kind of managing a little bit more from afar. But once again, when you empower really good people, that's the one thing that's taught me, because probably when we first started doing therapy, we thought we had to carry the burden all ourselves, and just, we're trying to do everything. And not that we don't, I still want to talk to every single patient that comes through the doors and establish a little bit of a relationship with them, even if I'm not working with them directly. That's part of the goal. But you don't have to, when you surround yourself with other good professionals and other good people, you don't feel like you have to just be carrying the entire burden. And I think that's one thing that is going to be really nice with us venturing into Napoleon. One of the perks of growth has been that we kind of can step back and look at pieces, okay? And I don't mean not to refer to our employees as pieces, but you just have a lot more pieces to put a big puzzle together. So when you have a vacation or a sickness or a birth in the family and these types of things, we can just kind of, and the great thing about being in Northwest Ohio, no clinic's really too far. So I think we're really being able to maintain this family-like atmosphere by kind of just moving some people here or there and creating coverage where there's not going to be a drop-off between if you saw me or Ryan, or if you see one of our younger therapists. I don't expect there to be a drop-off in any individual's care when they come in. And that's a really great feeling for me, to know that you can just kind of pass things off, and they're going to run, and people are going to continue to get good care. So really, there's other places out there. There's other businesses that do physical therapy, very obviously. And I think there's a lot of really good therapists out there. We've both worked with other teams beyond what we have. Really good therapists out there, but trying to create that culture.
You were just razzing a patient today. He was doing therapy somewhere else for a while. He's with us now. And Kevin's like, just giving him a hard time about that fact. He finally got it. You know what? I'm just ashamed that I ever went anywhere else. A hilarious conversation to be overheard.
My response was, and I'm not ashamed to beg for a compliment.
The one thing I'd like to ask, and I've got like three things, but I'm just going to ask one thing. Is there more than one way to skin a cat, so to speak? So let's say you have a young new therapist that is coming to work for you, and someone's rehabbing, take your pick, a rotator cuff surgery or something like that. Are there certain protocols that you want to see consistent across the board, or is a young therapist allowed to maybe have their own style, some maybe new techniques?
Certainly their own style, their own techniques. We kind of make sure our staff feels that autonomy that they should have. They earned it by getting their physical therapy degree. I think the brand that we like to put on it is to kind of stay on that aggressive end of their rehab. Because what I think in physical therapy, we get a bit of a bad name as an industry of just kind of going in and getting some cookie cutter exercises. And man, I never really felt like I was strengthening, okay, we aren't getting people ready for the real world by doing that. So our brand that Kevin and I make sure our staff and our staff does a great job. And Kevin said he nailed it on the head. Like, we are so lucky to have the staff we have, but our emphasis is we want to push these people back to being better than they were before they got hurt, because the reason they got hurt was probably because they let themselves get to that point, or, some of it's incidental, but nevertheless, I think just that aggressive kind of approach is
Yeah,
kind of
and
our brand.
I would say yes to both as well. When you get my hands stretching a shoulder and maybe working somebody over, I have a following of people who really like me, and
Hog Hands McCann
yes,
is what it
and
goes
I
by.
also have a nickname in the clinic.
Sorry, I don't know if you wanted to
That's
really know
fine.
that.
There's a contingency that doesn't make eye contact, and I'm fine with that at this point in my career. So yes, every individual therapist has their own blend. We're always open to, there's the cool thing about therapy. So young people who want to get into the business of physical therapy, we're always open to having observation hours, and we've got students coming in at an increased frequency. There's a lot of different avenues you can go down. Even in the outpatient physical therapy, you could have a certain niche here or there. So whenever we're sitting down with our employees, what do you have that interests you? Do you want to explore a different area? Because the more specialization we have and we can offer, that again helps our business out, helps us to accommodate to more individuals in the community and so forth. So whenever they have an area of interest, we certainly are not turning that down if that's brought to us.
Awesome.
You want to finish your other questions?
I've got a whole. I want to ask about cupping and dry needling, because I know that's popular nowadays. Are you guys both able to perform those things, and how specialized is that? Can anybody do it? Or how much training is required?
So that with the dry needling, what did we get? Probably certified in 2017 or 18. So Ryan and I have been doing that for quite a while.
You need basically 2 years worth of continuing education credit. So, we need 24 hours every 2 years, and I think the class was 27 hours worth.
Yeah.
So it's a chunk of learning to take on, but to answer your question, we all dry needle in our clinic. The physical therapists do. Everybody who becomes an employee of ours, we believe in dry needling and cupping enough. Not that it's our only tool, but it's a useful tool that we like to carry in our tool bag as physical therapists. So I think,
and once again, that carryover. So like Ryan said, you have to be a physical therapist.
Yeah.
There's other professions out there that do utilize dry needling, chiropractors, occupational therapists. So it's not exclusive to the PT profession by any means, but I would probably argue of all the professions, because dry needling's essentially probably been around for 50 some years, and it's essentially, to not get too far into the weeds, it's an offshoot of acupuncture. So there's great similarities. It's just a little bit more of a medical approach, because we're labeling everything for the nerve pathways and the muscles that you're working on, essentially. So I would say physical therapy as a profession has probably taken the dry needling and run with that as a profession amongst some of the ones that I mentioned.
Correct.
But then cupping, so a lot of our physical therapy assistants, physical therapists, we're all working with cupping, and that's just another form of a manual technique that trying to increase blood flow, trying to jumpstart a healing response. So that's a little bit more becoming probably even more mainstream, because a lot of people can go on Amazon and get a cupping kit and start giving themselves bruises. So.
Oh, and Lynn, to answer your question on how I got into PT, I was falling asleep at BGSU business classes and quickly realized I needed to change course. So that's how I got into the industry. Okay. Stumbled into physical therapy, knew I wanted to work with people, help people, and kind of felt like it was in the sports realm. Going back to your question, I was just going to fail out of BGSU if I stayed in business.
So you'd be out on the streets if you didn't get into this
absolutely.
business.
Yeah, absolutely.
What would you be doing, Kevin, if you weren't in this realm?
It's a good question.
Did you ever consider anything else?
I'd probably be teaching and coaching, quite honestly. There's days where I think, man, should have been a doctor. I mean, but I would say that part of me, my college and high school self, wasn't necessarily thinking about that. And now, to be completely honest, the interpersonal relationships that I feel like we're able to build as PTs, I think I would almost desire that if I were, only getting a short amount of time with patients. So that's the unique thing about physical therapy. We
Gotta be a people person, that's for sure.
Yeah, we build so many relationships and people that have come in for just, years and years off and on that you're able to help and impact it. You always can get into the grind of work and feel like it's work, but then you'll have somebody make a comment to you or point something out that brings you back to reminding us that what we're doing is, it's not just work. You're helping people get back to being able to interact with family, keeping somebody at home so they don't have to go into like a skilled nursing facility, getting athletes back out on the field that are just trying to play their senior year. And it's always nice to zoom out just a little bit and be reminded of that you're impacting people. So it's definitely a gratifying profession to be in, that's for sure.
Yeah. We're in the football business. Maybe for the folks watching and listening, how can you help a football player, I guess?
That's probably the thing that we do the most or the best as far as our physical therapy clinics is if you're going to get injured on a Friday night and as a mom and dad, you don't know what to do. Okay? Do I need to take them, first of all, urgent care, x-rays? Do I need to go see my primary care doctor? Well, I have nothing against that, but sometimes they need to just get some advice. And what we do a lot is just a bum clinic where, hey, come on in. We get a call from a mom or dad. Yeah, we can get them in today. I'll take a look at your son or daughter and just, give them some advice in terms of, hey, I think you just sprained your ankle. Here's some exercises. Or, hey, I honestly think if you strengthen up the shoulder a little bit, doing some PT would be a lot better. No, I think maybe you need to go see an orthopedic. Let's get another look at this. That's something that Kevin and I have really built our practice on over the last 13 years. Just the bump clinics, just the advice that we always call ourselves the gatekeeper because we take all sorts of athletes in. I just saw a football player on Saturday morning, just kind of give him a second opinion because he got some opinions on Friday night, but just kind of, hey, this is what I think it is. But let's get it looked at. So I facilitated the appointment at the orthopedic office, probably getting the MRI and all that stuff, So that's probably the thing I would say I enjoy the most is, as a mom and dad, even like I have 4 boys at home and sometimes you get a little overwhelmed with situations like that. And I, as a PT, I know what I need to do, but you kind of lose your mind a little bit when you're, in it with your kids. So just kind of being able to help, parents and families and athletes with that decision making.
Ryan, you led me to want to ask something else, and I don't mean to put you guys on the spot, but this is something over the years that I dealt with from a coaching standpoint, and it's uber frustrating, man. Okay, and you brought up a great point. Sometimes as a parent, you don't know where to turn, and it gets it gets confusing. So a kid gets banged up, could be football, could be a volleyball, whatever. They go to their primary care physician. Monday they come in on crutches.
Air cast,
and the note says they're out 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm going, whoa. You shouldn't even be on crutches. You should be walking. Now it just sets you back. I'm not saying they should always be walking. But there's times where they just jump to the physician, and if they could have got some advice beforehand, maybe it's a 2, 3, 4 day deal instead of automatic 2 weeks.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm getting at. Is just using us as that kind of the gatekeeper. We can help triage the situation. once again, nothing against PCPs and what they do.
Sure.
They got a lot on their
Emergency
plate.
room, yeah, emergency
rooms.
room. Somebody comes into the emergency room, their job is to make sure that that individual is walked out or is leaving and not at risk of further injury, right? So we'll never, it's actually sometimes when you take the classic ankle sprain, because that's an injury maybe it would fit for what we're talking about. If you have an ankle sprain, you have the initial injury, really what we're doing in physical therapy and the post-injury, we're trying to limit the amount of inflammation, so we're limiting secondary injury. So secondary injury is this large amount of swelling on an appendage that then we have to, it leads to stiffening of the joint and further pain and so forth. So if we get an x-ray as PTs and we know there's no fracture, okay, let's go to work and really, so whenever someone comes in and we know, hey, there's nothing that should be detrimental to you getting back out and being active, sometimes it certainly does take that, let's start working this and start moving, and movement oftentimes is far better than just rest, ice, and sitting around. Yeah, so with a lot of injuries, motion and appropriate motion and appropriate return to sport activity is going to be, it's going to lead to far less downtime. And that's anything too. I mean, that extends beyond sports, I would say. The shoulder pain, I'm a 50-year-old who starts to have shoulder pain and it hurts to move my shoulder, so I'm going to stop moving it. That person that comes in and sees us for, hey, where should I go? 2 or 3 weeks into shoulder pain rather than 6 months into shoulder pain and this joint's now frozen, the recovery is going to be a lot quicker. So, yeah.
But yeah, back to your question, Tory, when we first opened, I used to email all of the Defiance coaches every season just to remind them, like, hey, you can just send your athletes in if you got somebody hurt at practice or a game. For that very reason, we don't want these athletes on crutches for something, non-weight bearing for 4 weeks, for something that they really just need to get moving, like Kevin's talking about.
Very good.
The cool thing about us is being private practice as well. We are not, we don't have to. We're not pressured into we can talk to each individual that comes in the doors and, hey, who are you doctoring with right now? Well, I don't have a doctor. I had a case like this. I don't even have a family doctor, but I need to see a specialist. Who should I go see? For us, really one of the nice and unique things, building relationships with a lot of the physicians that are out there, orthopedic surgeons, and just building up rapport, having the ability to give an orthopedic a call or shoot them a text, hey, so-and-so. We have a lot of physicians that we are able to just build these relationships with. And then you can take somebody that comes in the door, well, where do you work? What's most feasible? Do you want to stay locally? Do you want to go maybe to Toledo, Fort Wayne, Lima? And we can help facilitate that. And
They asked to see the best. We're going to send you the best, not because I'm affiliated with them, because they the same name on their same logo on their shirt as me, and I think that's important, that you're being sent to the best because he's the best.
Mm-hmm.
That's good stuff. There's a lot to be learned from that. So thank you guys.
Outstanding. You guys are also our sponsor of our Peak Performance. Speaking of Saturday mornings on Rise and Rewind, you guys are sponsoring our Peak Performance. Congratulations to Gavin Brown of Fairview, our Week 1 Peak Performer of the Week, and we'll hand out our Week 2 coming up this Saturday morning.
The thing Gavin did, though, he set his bar so high. What's he going to do for an encore? I mean, man, could have started slow, but he started fast.
Yeah, especially replacing 4-year starter and Will Zedike, and jumped in there and threw for over 500 yards.
It's his cousin. He had to one up the family.
He's well on his way right now.
Well, we're excited for Gavin. He's a friend of ours, and just saw him a few weeks ago pandering for money for a lift-a-thon. And we were happy to sponsor him and happy to see him win this award.
I saw him at the Defiance County Fair last night, and I would have razzed him about that, but I'm slow to the party, so I was just congratulating him on a good performance.
Congratulations, Gavin, on your outstanding performance. Delta this week, though, for the Apaches, maybe a little bit different animal to deal with for Fairview.
Yeah, Delta's rugged. They've got some key guys back, Vinny Martinez, Marcus Nagel. I love their quarterback, Emmerich Fries. I think he's a quarterback in the area that flies under the radar. That game was a nail-biter a year ago, and one that Delta felt like they let slip away, and I think Delta has them at home this week, if I'm right. So it'll be a good game.
Yep, should be one of the great games around the area as we look to Week 2. Western Buckeye League, they start conference play already this week. You get one non-conference game, not much of a tune-up, and you go right into the conference season. Wapak 0-1 coming after that loss to Clay. They are at Celina, who knocked off St. Henry, as we said. Celina last beat Wapak back in the COVID season of 2020. The Redskins have not started 0-2 since 2022 when they lost that nail nibbler to Marion Local, and then they went to Fred J. Brown Stadium and lost to Defiance, but then they won 10 in a row on the way to the playoffs. Who do we like in this WBL opener?
The last few years, Wapak games were always easy because you were probably going to pick Wapak. There's so much parity this year in the Western Buckeye League. This one's one of many toss-ups, in my opinion, this week. Celina, boy, they've been through the ringer, Lynn, as you said at the outset.
How does that maybe bring them together even more this week?
I think it galvanizes them. I really do. There's great spirit in that community and that school, but I've got to make a pick, and I don't see Coach Moyer and Wapak going 0-2. They lost to a really, really good Clay team last Friday night. I'm going with Wapakoneta.
You're already 0-1. I got the Celina Bulldogs, man.
I started out, so
let's see who Kevin's going to go with here right off the bat.
I had mentioned picking away teams, and I went with I did say very impressive win by Celina, but I took Wapak in this one.
Good boy, Kevin.
At my notes, I put Wapak won't lose 2 straight. But as I sit here and I think about it, and I look at Celina's body of work already, they beat St. Henry. That's impressive, and they have a lot to galvanize that team, that community. At Celina, I'm switching it. I like Celina.
He's a smart man.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be sad if Celina
and I'm rooting for Celina too,
Nope.
because anything to lift up that community and that team. I'm not going to stay partial on that one. I'm rooting for them.
Good pick there, Ryan. St. Mary's 1-0. They are at Lima Bath this week. St. Mary's has won this game 10 straight times over the Wildcats, so I'm going to take the Rough Riders again.
Good pick. Make it 11. I told the St. Mary's kids a couple weeks ago, I'm going to ride with you guys all season long, and I'm not going to change it now. St. Mary's.
I'm not going to argue. I got St. Mary's as well.
St. Mary's ground and pound.
Across
I used
the
to stand on that sideline and watch them ground and pound on Defiance, and it's every game. You know what's coming.
Yep.
OG 1-0 is at Defiance, a team that also started 1-0 with that 1-point victory over Napoleon. OG seeking their first 2-0 start since 2015.
I'm still thinking about this one. I'm going to go last.
Yeah, I got OG in this one. And it's not because I'm a Napoleon guy and I'm bitter about last week. I was impressed with Defiance's defense. The game had some ugly moments, but it also, if you think about what they did to Hayden Groll before he went down with his injury, he didn't run wild like everybody thought he was gonna. But I think OG's gonna win in a close one.
Go ahead, Mr. McCann.
I am not going to sit here and work in a Defiance community and pick against Defiance with both of us. Although, if I'm being completely transparent, you will see OG was highlighted. I know that community. I know, as I mentioned, my wife's from Ottawa-Glandorf, so I know that they not winning a game doesn't sit well with them. And to beat Liberty-Benton, I'm kind of curious about what everybody thinks about Liberty-Benton because they're going to have a tough game this week. They might start out 0-2. But I'm going to go with Defiance. Bulldogs at home. once again, I'm not going to sit here and pick a bunch of away teams. So I got to roll with the Bulldogs.
I got OG, Ben Kaufman, 2-0 start to his career.
You know, Steve Rittenauer, I love Rit. He's a good buddy of mine. He's a good dude, and I have nothing but respect for him and his program. I was leaning Defiance when I thought about this game, but what I can't get past is what Ottawa-Glandorf did to Liberty-Benton. And we talked about this Saturday. Liberty-Benton, they were just decimated by graduation, no question. But they have such a championship culture in that school. It's woven in the fabric. So even on a down year, you don't just do that to Liberty-Benton. The fact Ottawa-Glandorf did that is going to cause me to go with the Titans. Coach Ritt, I'm sorry, buddy. I love your defense. I love Reed Rollinson. Nice young receiver Defiance has there. But I'm going with the Titans.
That's funny you mentioned Coach Ritt, because when I was looking at the preseason forecast of Defiance's record from Black Swamp, I saw them at 2-8, and the first thing I pictured was Coach Ritt putting that up on the bulletin board and being like, look what these guys
Thanks
said.
for putting it out there for everybody. Rick probably didn't even see that.
Ritt saw it. Ritt pays attention. I know Steve, and he uses anything he can to fire those guys up, and he's going to use this right now to fire them up.
Yeah.
Who invited this guy on the show?
He's educated, man. You're not going to get anything by him.
Man. Elida 1-0. They were at Van Wert, who was 1-0. Van Wert, a nice start over Brian. Zach Crummy, their quarterback, was 22 at 26, 350 yards and 3 TDs. Xavier Kelly, 4 TDs overall, as the Cougars put up nearly 500 yards of offense. Do they do it again this week against the Elida Bulldogs?
Didn't Elida beat a City League team week
They did.
one?
Rogers.
Okay. Give me the Cougars at home. And I know that's a 1-0 versus 1-0, but Van Wert rolls.
I agree.
Agree.
Yeah, I've got Van Wert.
Rounding out the Western Buckeye League slate this week, 2 teams that started off 0-1, and Lima Shawnee, boy, they got walloped by LCC a week ago. They have Kenton coming to town, who fell to Eastwood in week 1. Do the Fighting Bob Owens bounce back in week 2?
Well, they say the greatest improvement happens between week 1 and week 2, right? Whether that's always true, I don't know. But they say it is. And 0-1, I know it's too early in the season to say it's a must-win, but nobody wants to be 0-2. So both teams' backs against the wall. I just have to believe Shawnee's going to improve drastically from last Friday to this Friday. I'm going with the Indians at home.
Go ahead, guys.
I've got Shawnee as well. I agree with Coach. Yep.
I would say, yeah, must win for Shawnee. I mean, I know Kenton's kind of shown some improvement, but Shawnee, you look at their schedule, and it gets real serious real fast in that WBL schedule for them. So I got Shawnee winning this one.
I got Shawnee as well. Make it a clean sweep there. Blanchard Valley Conference, they get underway as well this week. Pandora-Gilboa, they look to bounce back after the shellacking they took from Grove. They go to Elmwood, who opened up the season with a victory. Elmwood lost 21-22 before beating Lakota. PG has outscored the Royals 127-14 in the last 3 years. So PG has dominated this game. Do they do it again?
Yeah, Elmwood, big win last week. I think a lot of folks on paper liked Lakota in that game, but Elmwood found a way to get it done. And don't be fooled by the records here. I like the Rockets.
Pandora-Gilboa, I would agree. Did they beat Columbus Grove? Didn't Columbus Grove start 0-3 last year?
A year
Was that
ago,
right?
yes, that's correct,
So-
yes.
And then they went on the tear that
Yeah.
you would expect. But, yeah, I think Pandora-Gilboa in this game.
I've got Pandora-Gilboa.
I'll take the Rockets as well in that matchup. Another big one in the BVC this week, McComb and Leipsic, maybe the 2 teams that could be at the top at the end. A lot of folks think, but I like the Vikings at home in this one.
You know, you take Liberty-Benton out of the BVC equation, and I think everybody breathes a little easier. This is a tough pick. Leipzig's or McComb's hard to beat. I'm telling you, Chris Algie is just a tough coach to beat. It's going to be a good football game, but boy, watching Leipzig's highlights from last week, they've got weapons all over the field. I like the Vikings at home, but it's going to be close.
Close. A possession? 2 possessions?
No more than 2. I'll be shocked. Now, Leipsic has the firepower, there's no question about it, but Chris Algie is such a great game planner on both sides of the ball, and he'll line up in the tee if he has to. He'll go 5 wide empty if he has to. Whatever he has to do to give his kids an edge, he'll find an edge, but Leipsic gets it done.
Well, he better keep Marquise Williams and Mark Kirkendall and Avery Paris and Hazelton off the field.
Easier said than done, isn't it?
Yeah.
I picked Leipsic as well. Nice home win after a big win last week.
Yep.
I had this as a coin toss, and I'm going to just go with McComb just to be go against the grain a little bit here, guys.
Okay. All right. Going to go alone on that one. NWCC, defending champion North Baltimore. They start the defense of their championship and 10-0 regular season against Hardin Northern, who is 0-1 after the loss a week ago. But I like the Fighting Tigers. I don't see them losing in the regular season.
No, looking at their schedule Saturday morning, yeah. I'll be shocked if they lose. They ain't going to lose Friday. Give me North Baltimore.
I agree.
Yeah, it's one of the more lopsided games that I foresee this week, North Baltimore.
Take a break, come back and talk about the non-conference action going on around the area coming up here in week 2 after these messages. American Freedom Energy and Grandma's General Store off Route 24 on State Route 109, just south of Liberty Center, now has 88 unleaded fuel and is your one-stop shop for fuel, food, drinks, and much, much more, including locally raised meats and home-baked goods. American Freedom Energy and Grandma's General Store is proud to support Black Swamp Football and is the host of the Black Swamp Football podcast, football show, and Saturday mornings Rise and Rewind. Stop in and see Glenn and Greg today and make American Freedom Energy and Grandma's General Store a part of your everyday routine. 4A Creative Design is a retail store and vocational job training site located in Napoleon. It serves as a community program that empowers individuals with developmental disabilities by helping them learn essential vocational skills and gain the hands-on experience needed to secure competitive employment within the community. Program participants design, craft, and produce unique merchandise. This workflow allows them to practice manufacturing, retail operations, and customer service. They use modern tools, including a UF-DTF printer for branding hard surfaces and laser engraving equipment. Visit them at 121 West Washington Street in Napoleon, or visit their website at 4acreativedesign.com. KK Collision is a leader in the auto repair industry that has been servicing Northwest Ohio's auto needs for over 27 years. We offer a fast and reliable repair option that stands above the competition. When your vehicle enters our facility, you can be assured that you have chosen the most technologically advanced repair facility in the area. KK Collision is an automotive body and mechanical shop, as well as both a light and heavy-duty towing service located in Liberty Center. Our towing services cover Northwest Ohio and the surrounding area 24 hours a day. Are you in need of a repair estimate? Visit us anytime during business hours for a free estimate at T556 Ohio 109 on the north side of Liberty Center, or call 888-533-7801 or visit our website at kkcollision.com. Welcome back to the Black Swamp Football Podcast presented by the Gherkin Company as we head into the non-conference slate of games this week. Going to start with Edon at Antwerp. The Bombers 1-0 after they picked up an easy victory in week 1 over Edgerton. Antwerp fell on the road to a going to be a pretty good Montpelier squad this season, a game that we had on our game cast on Thursday night of week 1. Antwerp leads the all-time series 28-19. They have been playing since the playoffs started all the way back in 1972, so this has been an annual matchup between these two programs. Can the Archers bounce back?
I'd love to see the GMC get going after a not great showing in week 1, but pretty impressive win by Edon, 40-7 I had written down in my notes. So, yeah, I'm going to take Edon on the road against Antwerp.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect in that Edon-Edgerton week 1 matchup, but man, did Edon impress, and I think they're going to just kind of keep rolling this week against Antwerp.
So a couple weeks ago in our preview show down in Mac Country, we had the WBL there, and Bob Olwyn was there representing Shawnee, and I said, hey, how are the Bombers going to be? He said, they're going to be good. He said, I don't leave the cupboard bare when I leave a place. And had he not told me that, I might have picked Edgerton last week. But I thought, Coach Olwyn told me they're going to be pretty good. And he was right, and I took Edon, and it came to fruition. But I'm going to go with the Archers. I liked now, I don't know if they're going to have enough offense to win this game. They were pretty one-dimensional a week ago against Montpelier, but I don't know. I'm going with Antwerp at home to find a way to get it done. Coach Hale.
You like the Archers?
I'm going with them.
My lead pipe lock. Bomber ball. Bomber ball starts 2-0 for Coach Wiesel.
It's hard to argue, but I'm going to argue.
Okay, all right. Hilltop 1-0. They are at Edgerton as the Bulldogs fighting some youth and some injuries in that loss to Edon a week ago. Edgerton has won the last 13, and all but one of those has been pretty lopsided. But I think Hilltop has a couple of the better dudes in this game, and I think they win. I think they break the streak against their Williams County foe.
You know, boy, I'm going to dig myself an early season hole here, but I like Coach Brody Flagle's Edgerton Bulldogs at home. I'm going to go with them. Give me Edgerton.
You might just be done after this week.
I know, maybe. I'm going to roll the dice. I'll make a late season run like I always do, but early on, man, there's just too many variables, too many unknowns. Give me Edgerton at home.
I like Edgerton at home myself. Yep. I never enjoyed going and playing at Edgerton. It's kind of small sideline. It's a tough place to play at. They'll bounce back. Edgerton.
Don't disappoint me, Crandall.
I'm going down with the ship. I'm going to take Edgerton as well.
That's all right. That's all right.
Hey,
I like the pick.
It could be embarrassing when I roll in here Saturday morning for you guys, and we look at the records from this week.
I'll get you on the back end here.
Montpelier 1-0, as we talked about. They play Swanton, who is 1-0. Can the Bulldogs pull off another one? This will be a little bit bigger challenge for Matt Horn and crew, though.
I'll tell you what, there's got to be a lot of excitement with school getting underway. Swanton won. They get to host Montpelier here, an old NWAL matchup.
Yep.
Those were two teams back in the 80s and 90s that were contenders every year in the NWAL. And I love Montpelier's quarterback. Holy cow, Hartsock. He's one of the fine athletes in Northwest Ohio. Got a great running back, Carter Meek. I like the Locos to rain on Swanton's parade.
have to agree. Locos on the road. Yep. It's always fun to win. It's tough to make a full transition on a program. So I'm going to take the Montpelier Locos.
Yep, Montpelier as well. Be great to see Swanton win 2 in a row after the streak they were on, but yeah, I think Locos is a smart pick here.
I got Montpelier as well in that matchup. North Central 0-1 is at Paulding, who came up with a victory over Crestview in week 1. The Panthers have won 60-0 and 58-0 the last 2 years in this matchup. I don't see that changing. Man's boys, Avery Cooper, long night for North Central.
I agree, Lynn. Hard-fought win over Crestview.
I was surprised that score was as close as what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Paulding all the way on this one.
I got Paulding.
Yep.
Okay. We're going to go up to Michigan as they start their football season this week. Monroe St. Mary Catholic Central is at Ottawa Lake Whiteford, a new team that we are covering this season, and we will see Whiteford next week on our game cast up in the woods. You guys have probably never been to Whiteford for a football game, have you? I would assume not.
I have not.
I specifically have in my notes whoever Lynn or Coach takes. You guys go first.
Well, this should be a dandy. Whiteford's got a heck of a non-conference schedule like they always do with Todd Teakin, but give me the Bobcats in this one. But Monroe is St. Mary Catholic Central always has a very, very good program.
Yeah, they do. And Lynn and I got to watch Whiteford at home last year, and their offense is very unique. It's like a wing tee-ish offense, but like no splits. I mean, the linemen are foot to foot, a lot of motion, misdirection, and they're stable of running backs a year ago,
I
man.
feel like I remember you guys talking about the running backs for Whiteford.
Yeah.
That was the one maybe thing that I remembered.
Yeah.
Or had any knowledge of.
Ruddy Boys and Tommy Eitner's son at quarterback. They have some dudes up there, and our boy Vance, he's going to get some totes this year.
Yeah, the young kid. That's a whole nother story we'll get into. But I too am going with the Whiteford Bobcats. Can't pick against Coach Teeks in week 1.
Well, I can't. Did you guys just pick the same? That's how clueless I am on this one.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, then
Follow the lead, Kevin.
chips in.
Follow the lead.
Yep, I'm in.
Let's see.
Whiteford.
Going against the grain again. I'm going Monroe St. Mary Catholic Central.
That scares
Do
me.
you have a reason why?
I was looking them up today.
Their story, they have a
They
storied
have a strong
tradition.
program, had a good year last year. That's why.
I'm actually kicking myself. If I would have prepared more for the test, I played ball at Findlay with several guys from Monroe. A simple text would have probably given me a little bit of an inside edge, but I'm sticking with my notes and my plan.
Got to come prepared. Coach Cromwell, I don't know if he was prepared last week. Sometime I was wondering.
I know. He led us to believe he was, but I'm not sure he was.
Yeah. Spencerville 0-1 is at Wayne Trace, who is also 0 on this season. The Bearcats are 6-0 all-time in this matchup. Spencerville has won 25-21, 28-27 the last 2 years after playing all the way back in the mid-70s. 1973 to 76 was when they initially started this game. You can hear our good friend Kenny Stabler calling this game on Friday night, but I'd like Spencerville to pick up the victory.
You know, Spencerville is always a blue-collar, they'll run the ball at you type team. Boy, by their standard, they're down a little bit this year, kind of retooling things.
Release it. We don't have time.
You
should have been prepared.
This is a coin flip,
These guys have
man.
excuses.
This is a coin flip. I'm going to go with the Raiders at home. I'm going to go with Wayne Trace at home. Spencerville, I'm telling you, Spencerville is going to have their struggles this year.
This is a please, let's get the GMC on track for me as well. Wayne Trace, who I had.
I put GMC exclamation point because I think this is going to be a week where they're going to fight back.
Okay. Find out what you think of Ayersville in the GMC. They have the Big Red, Patrick Henry, and the Patriots coming to town. PH 3-0 all-time against Ayersville. Won 41-0 a year ago and 48-2 in 2024. And PH also won that classic playoff game in the regional final back in 2016 at Buckenmeyer Stadium. But PH's receiving core, Tristan Rosebrook and crew, just going to be too much. Kiefer Holloway, Jake Smith, boy, they got some really good receivers. They can figure out that running game. PH may clip somebody in the NWL this season that they're not supposed to.
You can't pick against your alma mater here, Lynn.
Got to, man. My Pilots disappointed me a week ago. I mean, they just took a shellacking from Delta. Barely had any yards.
There's no shame once in a while in getting beat
I can't
by
be
a NWL school, okay, Lynn?
can't be a homer, man. I don't want to be called a homer.
Yeah. I'm with Lynn. Give me the Patrick Henry Patriots on the road, no doubt.
I too like Patrick Henry. Yep, a good program. They'll be ready to go on the road.
Yeah, that last pick wasn't a rallying cry for the entire conference. Sometimes you got to use your head. I got PH here.
All right, another GMC NWL matchup this week. Fairview at Delta. Fairview won this one 36-32 a year ago. Delta won 35-28 in 2024 and 31-28 in 2023. Contrasting styles. Delta's going to line up and pound it at you, and Fairview is going to try to get it to Logan Olinger and Gavin Garza and Gavin Mead and all those guys. I don't know where I'm going. I'm not quite sure. Maybe you have some knowledge to lend me here on this pick.
Well,
or do we want the rookies to pick?
Well, I want to touch on something Ryan said. Ryan, I get myself in trouble going with my heart instead of my head. Last week, I picked a couple teams because their coaches are friends of mine, and it freaking burned me. And I always get in the hole against him. Now, I usually come back, but early in the season, I hurt myself. This is maybe the toughest pick of the week.
Mm-hmm.
to be honest with you. Dogfight last week. Fairview staff with Travis Cooper on board now. But I'm going with Delta. I love the stable of running backs Delta has. I love their quarterback. Their blue collar. They're at home. Give me Delta.
GMC. My boy Gavin Brown is going to have another big week. They have receivers that are concerning for me down the road.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, I'm gonna say they're gonna open it up. They have to play better defense.
They gave up over 200 yards to Wasion rushing in
concerning.
week 1.
That's concerning. I think they're gonna, maybe that's a blessing in disguise. They're gonna go back to work and get that fixed this week. I'll take Fairview in this one.
Yeah, I watched Fairview play one game last year against Ayersville, and Ayersville ran the ball well against them in that game. I'm concerned about their rush defense against Delta. Marcus Nagel's going to go nuts on them if they can't stop the run game. This is my call to challenge them to step up and stop the run game. For that, I'm taking Delta.
Good man.
Who did you put? You took Delta?
I took Delta at home.
I'm going with the Panthers, too. I have some concerns about them stopping that running game. Vinny Martinez, too.
You guys ever seen Vincent Martinez? I'll tell you what, you'd like him. He's special. Just great vision and balance, and he's really good to complement Nagel. And
Yeah.
that's going to be a
That should
dandy.
be a really good game. Looking forward to following the score of that one on Friday night. Otsego is at Tenora this week. The Knights impressive in their opener. Tenora fell right down the road here at Liberty Center, as many programs would. The series tied 8-8 all time. Otsego won 29-27 last year and 14-19 in 2024. Rams won 27-19 in 2023. Those were the first meetings since back in your day. No? After your days.
Yeah, it would have been after me. Yeah.
Okay.
We used to go up to Michigan and played Sand Creek, I think. We had a tough time getting an opponent there for a while.
Okay.
For week 2.
Yeah, I think the last time that these two had played before that was all the way back in 2008. So just kind of right after you.
me. Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing but respect for the Rams' non-conference schedule. I mean, they will play all comers. They're going to have their hands full at home trying to rebound from that Liberty Center defeat. Otsego's really good, and they're only going to get better. Trying to defend that option with 1 week of prep, that's a tall order. Give me Coach Rutherford and the Otsego Knights.
I agree with you. Good pick. I've heard nothing but good things about Otsego this season. They have some really good players, and I think they get it done at Cressel Stadium.
I started out this podcast saying, I am not ashamed to beg for compliments. I'm not ashamed to be a homer either. Call to action. Call to action for the GMC and the Rams.
I love it.
Well, I'm going with Tenora here. I just got a hunch that this game is going to show how good Liberty Center is. Otsego came out and won week 1 by a lot. Tenora got beat by a lot. They're going to turn it around week 2.
I haven't gotten a full health report from the Ram camp yet. That's one thing that makes me just I knew there was a couple guys that got banged up, so that definitely will be a factor. But you got to think that there's more in the tank than what was shown last week.
Yeah, Ryan, you brought up a great point. I mean, there's a lot of people after that Liberty-Defiance scrimmage thought Defiance was just going to struggle mightily, and look what they did this past Friday. So that tends to happen against these guys, and so that's a good point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Find out where Otsego and Tenora are really at, probably.
Tenora
after
should
this.
have some skill players.
Yeah.
I mean, if we can give a little bit of time for the quarterback to get the ball out, that the skill players should be showcased more this week than what they were last week.
Josh
Liberty
Leipsic.
Center is just,
Yeah.
I mean, physically speaking, those boys, they're on a different level than, and not ashamed to say it, being 20 minutes down the road, they're just on a different level than a lot of programs around here. So compliments to them.
Yes, they are. Lakota 0-1 is at Hicksville. These two teams last met in 2019. Hicksville won that one 56-12, but I think I like Lakota in this one this year.
You know, I think This is a game I can't remember from last. I think I took Hicksville last week against Hilltop, and they lost.
You did.
And I'm going with Lakota. Fool me once.
I would have to
Think
go
it'll
with
happen
Lakota as well.
I had a Hicksville assistant coach stop by and promised me that they were improving rapidly and they had some dudes there. But I just don't think Lakota's the time for their coming out party. I think Lakota's going to get them here. It's going to be a close one this week, though.
Okay. Woodmore 1-0 is at Toledo Christian, who knocked off Hardin Northern a week ago. This is the first meeting between these two since 2017. Woodmore has won 3 of 4 against TC over the years.
I'm going to go last here. This is another coin flip for me.
I like TC.
I was kind of waiting to hear what you guys had to say on this one, actually, but I tentatively circled Woodmore. I'm just going to stick with that.
I took Woodmore, and I don't have any notes written down, so I can't refer to anything other than that's what's highlighted on my paper.
I'm going with Woodmore. I was leaning Woodmore. I'm going to go with Woodmore. Woodmore
Okay.
Wildcats. Buddy of mine from college has a kid on the team. So
That's your reasoning?
that's all I need.
See how that,
With your heart.
see how that goes for you. Going to take a break and talk about some of the bigger schools in our coverage area, including Perrysburg and Whitmer this week.
When it comes to building better athletic facilities, Tenkate has you covered. Tenkate has a complete lineup of world-class turf systems for every level of play. Now, a revolutionary infill-free turf system, Pivot, is engineered for a consistent, natural grass-like playing experience with less maintenance and long-term value. With Tenkate's complete solutions, we can meet all of your athletic facility needs. Call Coach Teeks at 313-971-6670 to find out how Tenkate can help you now and in the future.
The biggest wins don't happen by accident. They happen because of the team behind them. At Swanton Welding, we know what it takes to bring big ideas to life. With decades of experience in structural steel and custom metal fabrication, our team has the skills and capabilities to deliver. Metal is what we fabricate. Confidence is what we deliver. Swanton Welding.
Welcome back to the Black Swan Football Podcast presented by the Gherkin Company as we continue on here with our Week 2 picks. Olentangy 0-1 is at Perrysburg. The Jackets were impressive over BG. In week number 1, the Braves lost 40-7 to Upper Arlington, but P-Bird keeps it rolling this week. Dirk Connor and his experienced bunch, I don't think they'll have any issues again at home.
You know, a lot of years in a matchup like this, I'd be going with Olentangy. The Braves have a great tradition, but this is a different Perrysburg Yellow Jacket team this year, and so I like Perrysburg at home.
Nice win by Perrysburg last week at home. Yep, I'm taking Perrysburg as well.
Yeah, I like Perrysburg in this game. I think it's going to be a dogfight. It'll be a close game, but they look good this year.
Whitmer, they go to Detroit King. Whitmer is 1-0, and Detroit King will get their season going. King had won state titles in 2007, 2015, 2016, 2021, and 2022. So I'm going to take King in this matchup with Whitmer this week. This is a tough ask for the Panthers.
If the game were at Whitmer, I'd lean Whitmer heavily. But you know what? I'm going with Whitmer. I'm going to go with Whitmer on the road.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Whitmer on the road.
My lack of preparation, you almost made me nervous, but stick with the pick. Never second guess on a test, kids. All right? You got instinct. Stick with that one. I'll go with Whitmer.
I knew nothing about Detroit King, so I just wrote down OHIO. So I got Whitmer.
Continuing on with some of the NLL programs, Anthony Wayne, 0-1, is at St. John's Jesuit on Airport Highway. Anthony Wayne won 28-24 last year, 34-0 in 2024, and 48-19 in 2023, and 10-7 in 2022. St. John's last won this one in 2021, 22-20 in that matchup. Joe Horn, a little bit different team. Coach Brungard and his crew coming off of that loss to two-time defending state champion Bishop Watterson. I don't know how much that really tells us about what Anthony Wayne is this season. St. John's is better. Joe Horn keeps improving that crew. I don't know where I'm going on this one.
I'll start. I agree with you. Those kids believe in Coach Joe Horn. I mean, he's rallied the troops. They've got a little momentum going. Anthony Wayne took one on the chin last week, but boy, when you open the season with Watterson, it's kind of all downhill from there. They've got to go on the road, and I think Anthony Wayne finds a way to win a close one. Give me the Generals.
I still haven't decided.
It's a tough one.
This is definitely one that was a coin flip for me. St. John's, just based on scores, a nice win last week. I think I'll go with Anthony Wayne, though. Yeah, on the road. Yeah.
I'm nervous about this one because I got St. John's, and I think the week after, Anthony Wayne plays Napoleon, and so I'm worried about them taking out their revenge in that game after losing to St. John's. But that's my pick.
I'm going to take the Johnnies, just to even it out here.
Yeah.
But
Ryan, who'd you take? Did you take St. John's?
St. John's. I think this will be another really tight game coming up this Friday night. Clay 1-0 after the nice win over Walpock there at Southview, who knocked off Sylvania rival Northview a week ago. Clay won 14-0 last year and 41-14 2 years ago. Southview won 32-25 in 2023. This is a different Clay team. Coach Pennington and the Clay Eagles, they figured it out. Bryce Bestgrove, Landon Eckleberry both had big games there week number 1, and I think the Clay Eagles moved to 2-0.
I'm going to go with Clay, but what I'll say is if Southview wants to kind of stake their claim that they're back and they're to be taken seriously in the Cardinal Division, this would be a good statement for them at home. But I'm not picking against Clay. I think they're for real this year.
I do too.
I had Clay as well in this one.
I've got Clay. You just look at Southview's upcoming schedule. Clay, Whitmer, Findlay, Perrysburg. That's brutal. Good luck.
Lead pipe lock. You guys still have yours out there. Do you? I don't want you to.
You going to let me use it, Clay Southview?
If that's the one you want. I mean, I got to see what Clay is favored by
I'll find
on
something
Fantastic 50.
I'll find
Can you look that
something
up for me?
27.
Yep.
27? Fantastic 50 has them?
27.
Yeah, it can't be a lead pipe.
No. It's got to be a possession on Fantastic 50. See, he always tries to do this every week. I just have to trump him on these decisions. Northview trying to bounce back at Springfield. Coach Arredondo and his crew pick up the win a year ago, 44-10 in this matchup with Northview. I think the Blue Devils get another one, 2-0.
How about Springfield? Back-to-back seasons, opening week win over Maumee.
Yep.
You want to talk about must-wins. When you look at Northview's schedule going forward, they've got to get this one on the road. They have to. But I don't think they will. I'm impressed with what Coach Arredondo's building at Springfield, man. He's got a cohesive bunch. They believe in what he's preaching. Give me the Blue Devils at home.
Coach Arredondo, a Delta product. For those that didn't know.
Thank you for boosting my confidence. I also had Springfield at home after a nice win last week.
Yeah, I've got Springfield as well. Just watching them last year, they've got a lot of good athletes, and they can get a lot of yards on the offensive side of the ball really quickly.
Columbus Grove goes to Liberty-Benton this week, looking for some revenge from a year ago when LB absolutely rolled the Bulldogs at Clymer Stadium 41-3. I think they turn the tables this season on the Eagles, and it could be reminiscent of the score a year ago, if not worse, after what OG did to them. This Grove team is better than OG. Liberty-Benton will be in for a long night with the Bulldogs.
Yeah. You summed it up, Lynn. Give me Columbus Grove to roll in this game. Curious to see how Liberty-Benton rebounds and if they shore some things up, and maybe this is a little closer than we think. We'll see. But I like Columbus Grove.
Well, I was thinking that I was going to have you hand me that lead pipe lock, but it sounds like we're too far gap for that. So Clumps Grove at home. After bouncing back last year and going on a roll, they keep it going to start the season this year.
Yeah, give me Grove.
Okay. Bluffton picked up a win in week number 1 over Benjamin Logan. They go to Milan Edison, a team that lost to Patrick Henry last week. These two teams have never met before, but Pirates are going to pick up the win. Coach Richards and crew gets it done.
Yeah, I like Bluffton. I'm going to pick Bluffton, but they're going to have to play. They're going to have to play. Milan Edison slugged it out with PH for a little bit of that game. I think Bluffton will have their hands full, but I like the Pirates.
Bluffton as well is what I have.
Yep, give me Bluffton.
Delphus St. John's is at LCC. This is a game on Saturday. Both teams 1-0. LCC won this one 28-7 a year ago, 14-13 2 years ago, and Delphus St. John's won 42-40 in a shootout in 2023. Delphus St. John's, a nice win over Sidney Lehman Catholic. Christian Young, an outstanding running back for the Blue Jays. Boy, they just, their schedule is rugged. And it starts this week with LCC, and then they get into MAC play here as well. And wins may be hard to come by. But this Delphus St. John's team, they're not that bad, I don't think. I think they're a pretty good team. They have some dudes. They don't have enough, though, against the Thunderbirds.
I made the mistake last week of picking Lima Shawnee, and Columbus or LCC absolutely rolled in that game. I may not pick against the Thunderbirds the rest of the year.
They play Grove.
I said I may not.
They play Bluffton. Be careful here.
Give me the T-Birds. They're for real.
Yeah. I've heard that this is one of the better teams they've had here recently from some experts
At
out there.
home, yeah, the points that they put up last week, it'd be nice to see Delphus St. John's come back. I mean, speaking of the early 2000s when Delphus St. John's used to come and just roll the Rams, but yeah, LCC in this one is who I have.
Yeah, I've got LCC.
Clean sweep for the Thunderbirds from this crew this week. Sandusky 0-1 is at Fremont Ross. The Little Giants 1-0 in the return of Coach Winters. This is Ohio's second oldest rivalry behind, do you know, Coach?
Maslin McKinley or no?
That is correct. Inaugural game between Sandusky and Fremont Ross played November 2nd, 1895. A long, long time ago. Scott May, for basketball fans, he was a former Sandusky Blue Streak and obviously Orlando Pace. Most people should know who Orlando Pace is. And then Fremont Ross, Charles Woodson, obviously the big name out there, and Rob Lytle, who played at Michigan as well. But the Little Giants going to move to 2-0.
You know, I picked against them last week, and I think they won, 22-21?
Yeah.
Yes.
Over Tiffin Columbian, so that was a coin toss game, and I got that one wrong. I'm not going to do it again this week. Give me the Little Giants at Don Paul Stadium.
At home, yep, coming off of a very close win, Fremont Ross.
Yep, I like the Little Giants here as well.
Going to take a break and come back and talk about Ryan's alma mater, the Napoleon Wildcats, as they go to Kazmaier Stadium and Maumee this week. Be right back after these messages. Stop by Enzine's Pub before and after games all season long for cold drinks and incredible sandwiches, including their world-famous hot beef. Also, stop in Enzine's Pub to get all the area scores on their iconic scoreboard. Located on 611 Ottawa Avenue in Defiance, make Enzine's Pub a part of your routine every game night.
High school seniors, are you considering a career in construction? The Gherkin Companies is growing fast and seeks rock-solid performers to join our team. As a leader in road construction, the Gherkin Companies has opportunities for hardworking individuals in various roles. With a generous benefits package, ongoing training, and a culture that rewards effort, we offer a path to a fulfilling career. Visit gherkincompanies.com/careers to learn more and apply today.
Thank you to the Gherkin Company's title sponsor of our podcast and also our game cast again this season. Continuing on, Napoleon is at Maumee. Who bounces back in this one? Lead pipe lock?
The Napoleon Wildcats, who played a ton of sophomores in that game against Defiance, who did the same. I was really impressed with those sophomores that played, and we were talking during the break. Super impressed with Blake Ryman running the football. I don't have any update on the status of Hayden Groll, and I won't speculate, but Blake Ryman, I thought, did a nice job. Max Kopenhofer, I thought, did a real nice job carrying on some jet sweeps. I don't see Napoleon going on the road and dropping to 0-2, but Coach Karchner, he's going to have the Panthers jacked. They about pulled one out last year at Napoleon. I like Napoleon. They're my lead pipe lock.
I'm going to follow that up, and Napoleon's going to rebound this week. Blake Ryman looked really strong. With or without Hayden Groll, I like him. Shout out to my nephews, Spencer and Simon Durham. I had a proud uncle moment watching them on the defensive line together against Defiance, and I think they're going to dominate in this game, put a lot of pressure on that quarterback.
I like what everybody's saying. Why would I go against a community that I'm trying to endear myself to currently? Napoleon.
Well, they got to hate somebody, so I'm taking Maumee this week.
Oh, there we go.
We got to make Maumee happy. They're not that far away.
Yeah.
Coach Karchner and crew, they're not going to go 0-2. Give me the Panthers at Kazmaier Stadium. A tough place to play. A lot of tradition there. Panthers get the victory.
I might be up 10 games on him come Saturday morning, or I might be down 10 games or more.
Yeah. I just won't be welcoming Napoleon.
You can go to Maumee.
But I can go to Maumee.
Want.
Yes, I can. Matchup of two teams that are also looking to bounce back this week. Bowling Green is at Bryan. Bryan won 32-14 last year in the first meeting of the playoff era between these two teams. I'm going to take Scott Staten and the Golden Bears in this matchup.
Both these teams had their hands full a week ago. Bryan and Van Wert, Bowling Green and Perrysburg. I like Bowling Green's quarterback, but after what Bryan did to him a year ago, and now Bryan gets him at home, I'm with you, Lynn. Give me Coach Staten and the Bryan Bears.
Yeah, I watched Napoleon scrimmage Bryan, and that team's moving in the right direction. They're getting better. They've got some athletes. Give me Bryan in this game.
I would like to see Bryan back. I mean, as contenders. I had Bowling Green highlighted on here.
Well, then stick with it.
I know, that's what I told the kids.
You just said your first
That's what I
inclination
told
on a
the kids.
test. You're going back on your word here, McCann.
My kids have quickly realized that I'm wrong all the time. So I'm just going to be a follower on this one. You guys convinced me with Bryan. I like Bryan, generally speaking. I want to see them back. That might be a heart pick, but I'll switch and go with the heart pick and go with Bryan.
Okay, we'll let you do it. Findlay is at Lima Senior, a matchup of 1-0 teams. Findlay won this one a year ago, 17-7. Should be a good matchup here, too.
It will be a good matchup, coin flip game in my estimation, but I'm going to go with the Trojans. Give me Findlay.
Yeah, I've got Lima Senior circled on this one.
Findlay.
Yeah, I'm going with the Trojans, too. I'll take Findlay. Go against Crandall here on this one. Portage Central from Michigan, they are going to Gallagher Stadium on Cherry Street to take on the Fighting Irish of Central Catholic. Never have these two teams in the playoff era. Mustangs lost 42-7 in the state semis up in Michigan a year ago to Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Central lost to St. Mary's 36-21, so somewhat similar scores there. 2028 athlete Camden Noe is a three-star athlete for Portage Central, and they also have Kane Morris, an athlete in the 2027 class. He is a three-star as well. So they have some dudes. Central has some dudes as well, but I'm not picking against Greg Dempsey on Cherry Street.
No.
Irish moved to 2-0.
No, for every 2, 3, 4-star that Portage Central has, Central Catholic will see that and raise it with a lot of guys themselves. So give me Central Catholic at home.
I wasn't positive on this one, but when in doubt, take the home team, right? And Central Catholic.
Yeah, Central Catholic for sure.
Bishop Dwenger is at St. Francis de Sales this week, a matchup of 1-0 teams. Bishop Dwenger is the defending 4-8 state champion over in Indiana. I got to take Bishop Dwenger in this one.
Yep,
A little more firepower.
Yep, I agree. Fort Wayne, Bishop Dwenger. Sorry, Coach Linke.
I'll go Bishop Dwenger as well on this one.
Yep. Give me the Saints as well.
I wonder who Coach Cromwell's got in this one. I want him to send in his picks just to compare.
It's good. You never know. You never know which way he's going to go.
You think he'd pick the Knights?
I don't think so.
No? You think
No.
he'd go Bishop Dwenger?
I
He'll be
do.
honest here?
I do. I think
Go with
he
his
will.
head?
I think he will.
Okay, all right. 8-man football, North Adams Jerome is at Stryker on Thursday. I got to recluse myself from picking these 8-man games, but Stryker with a nice win on the opening night of the season against Chalker, a team that got to the state championship in the 8-man a year ago.
Yeah, I made the mistake of picking against Stryker last week. I'm not going to do it 2 weeks in a row. Give me Stryker.
I'm going to go without much research, but home team, I like Stryker.
Give me North Adams Jerome. I'm going to go against the grain.
Ooh, okay.
Love it.
We saw North Adams Jerome play the Panthers, 3-4 years ago? At Stryker,
Stryker,
right? Yeah. Holgate, they go to Camden Frontiers. They go up to Michigan in their non-conference game this week. That game is on Friday.
I'm going to go with Holgate Tigers.
I, too, am going with the Holgate Tigers.
I'm just going to keep going against the grain. Camden Frontier. Give me a
Oh, okay. All right. Speaking of another Tiger team, Liberty Center goes to Eastwood. The LC Tigers won this one 48-14 a year ago. Eastwood is going to spread them out a little bit, but do they have enough up front? I don't think so. Going to be a long night for the hosts in Pemberville. Give me Liberty Center.
Yeah, boy, they get pressure on you and force you to throw it before you want to, and then Liberty's got some athletes on the back end. I'm going to go with Liberty Center. I know that's the conventional pick. And Eastwood, if you know football, you know Eastwood's they're going to put their best foot forward, but ain't going to be enough.
I was watching last week's game. You knew the names to look out for, and they were impressive, but Liberty Center had some pretty impressive athletes that you didn't necessarily expect. And, I'll give one last shout-out to them. They look very good. They look the part. I don't see them getting tripped up at all this season, so I'll take Liberty Center.
Yeah, Kevin and I were talking today in the office, and just the disparity, the competitive disparity is just growing. Liberty just keeps getting better, and they're a machine right now. Eastwood's not going to stop that machine.
Yeah, Jackson Lonazak, I mean, he's one of the freakier athletes that this area has had
He
in a while. I mean, he's just
looked
freaky
fast.
athletic.
He had put a hit
That
last
hit.
week. Oh, my goodness.
Offensively and defensively.
Yeah.
He reminds me a little bit, Tory, you'll remember this name, Braden Richards, who played for Perry. Remember that guy? They
Very
had
well.
A little bit. He's maybe not as fast
Yep.
as Braden is, and I think he's at Air Force now running,
Yep.
Kind of a
running
long
track
strider,
out there.
though. I mean, he could open up his-
He could open. Yeah, I don't think Jackson's quite has that speed, but just that athleticism. That's who he kind of reminds me of.
Yep.
Liberty Center fans will remember Braden Richards that day and that outstanding Perry Pirates team. Coach Strock, I got a question for you I forgot to mention this early on for Rise and Rewind on Saturday morning. I already kind of led into this in a text to you, but has the spread offense affected small school Ohio football?
Well,
Saturday morning, Rise and Rewind. You have all week to think about your response, and we may hopefully we don't offend anybody. We're going to try to go with this as professional as we can. But somebody brought this question up to me, and a highly acclaimed assistant coach in the area, and posed that to me, and it got me thinking. And I want to get some thoughts from you. I'll play a little devil's advocate because I know how you feel about this question.
Yeah, and we'll be professional, absolutely. I love talking about that, and I'll probably ruffle some feathers, but I feel like I have some basis for my beliefs, and so we'll touch on that Saturday
Morning. Yep, we can probably start the show off with that.
Love it.
So if you're listening this week, you want to hear about small school spread offense and maybe why we should stay with the running game. Tune in Saturday morning, 9 a.m. again.
We'll be down in St.
We'll be
Henry.
in St. Henry at Fishmo's. You good with 9 a.m.?
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably going to be a little more worse for the wear than I will be because I'm going to have to work that night. You can have some Pepsis and Mountain Dews and Dr. Peppers and all that other good stuff with the St. Henry crew.
You going to turn me loose while you're working?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want, man. You go right ahead. You guys ever been down to Fishmo's or the establishments down there, McSober's Corner
I
Cafe?
have been to McSober's, and one of my college roommates, a Chickasaw guy, is established in St. Henry now, and it so happened that I was hanging out with him a few weeks ago, and I don't actually need to go down there and hang out just to it. He can keep coming this way. It's perfectly fine.
Probably safer for you.
Nights can get sideways pretty quickly down there with those guys. Yeah. Back to our picks this week. Bowser is at Genoa. Two teams looking to bounce back from week one losses. Genoa got pounded a little bit by Archibald. Do we know what the Comets are this season? They had a really good season a year ago in the NBC. They should get healthy this week against Bowser.
Yeah, I don't think we know what they are quite yet, and I don't think we're going to find out here in week 2. I like Genoa.
Genoa at home, big bounce back win.
Yeah, give me Genoa.
Okay. Everybody takes Genoa in that matchup. Northwood is at Lake this week. Lake coming off that loss to Hopewell, Loudon, and Bascom last week. A rugged Hopewell, Loudon team. And I saw they had that big lineman back. Hopewell, Loudon does. I didn't think they had him back.
He's
his
a road
name's
grader.
eluding me.
Yeah, I know who you mean. God, he's a horse.
Oh, he's bad news, man.
tough.
They had those skill dudes back.
Yeah.
Hopewell, Loudon's going to be a problem in Division 7 this year. But I think Lake picks up the win here.
Yeah, this is a tough pick. I got stung last week because I took my good friend Todd Drewsbach and Rossford against Northwood and veteran coach Kenny James. I shouldn't have done it, Coach D. I went with my heart. I'm not going to do it again. Coach Ken James in Northwood gets it done on the road at Lake. Give me the Rangers.
Rangers? Okay.
Yeah, for no particular reason, because I've got the scores from both teams last week, and with Lake getting beat up and Northwood winning a close one, I still took Lake, so I'll stick with the paper. Lake at home.
Okay.
Give me the Flyers as well.
How do you like those apples, Strock? Going to ride with Kenny James?
Well, I am because I got stung last week, so I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to support him.
All right.
I'm going to support him.
Let's see what you think of Coach D this week. At Waite. Rossford.
You know what, man?
You considering taking Waite?
I am, because Rossford, man, they've let me down over the last few years. But you know what? I'm going to give them one more chance. I believe in second chances. Give me the Rossford Bulldogs at Waite.
I like Rossford, too. Good pick.
I took Waite in this one, so I'll stick with the home team.
I'm going home team here. It's a coin toss game for me.
I think it'll be close. I really do.
I think so, too.
Wouldn't be surprised if Waite wins.
Going to take a break, come back and talk about the big game down in St. Henry and the Wally this week as Archibald is in town, and they'll be playing a caged tiger as St. Henry tries to bounce back from that loss to Celina a week ago. We'll be right back to talk about that matchup after these messages.
This is my lot.
4A Creative Design is a retail store and vocational job training site located in Napoleon. It serves as a community program that empowers individuals with developmental disabilities by helping them learn essential vocational skills and gain the hands-on experience needed to secure competitive employment within the community. Program participants design, craft, and produce unique merchandise. This workflow allows them to practice manufacturing, retail operations, and customer service. They use modern tools, including a UF-DTF printer for branding hard surfaces and laser engraving equipment. Visit them at 121 West Washington Street in Napoleon, or visit their website at 4acreativedesign.com.
Welcome to Sattler Family Meats, located in Napoleon, Ohio.
Where quality, tradition, and service come first.
We have a variety of different products and cuts made in-house daily.
We offer a wide variety of frozen products from chicken to beef, grass-fed beef, and pork products, as well as 21 different flavors of brats.
Along with all of our in-house products, we also offer custom processing. For more information, find us on Facebook or at our retail location in Napoleon, Ohio.
At Ag Credit, agriculture is where we started, but it's not all we do. We also provide competitive home loans for individuals and families across our communities. With personalized service and flexible loan options backed by a team that understands your community and your needs, we're here to help you secure the home of your dreams. Visit agcredit.net to connect with the local mortgage loan originator.
Welcome back to the Black Swamp Football Podcast presented by the Gherkin Companies. Thank you to all of our gracious sponsors, including Ryan Crandall and Kevin McCann from Defiance Physical Therapy, Napoleon Physical Therapy, and Brian Physical Therapy as they support our peak performance every Saturday morning on Rise and Rewind. You can hear that, and we'll be picking our peak performer from week number 2, Saturday morning, 9 a.m. down in St. Henry at Fishmo's, one of the great establishments in Mac country, as they have the Archbold Blue Streaks coming to town due to the defending state champions from Division 7 as they fell short against Celina a week ago. St. Henry rallied from a 17-0 deficit in the state final in 1990. They could have played Archbold in this game in 1990, but Archbold fell to that Sandusky St. Mary team that season. If you remember right, that St. Henry team was loaded. Bobby Hoying, Mr. Football, Jeff Harding, Scott Brunswick, who played at Toledo. Jeff Harding's played at Penn State for Joe Paterno in the NFL, had a great career. Scott Brunswick played at Toledo, signed with the Cowboys. He had an ankle injury, couldn't continue his NFL career. And then Kevin Niekamp was a tight end who went to Ohio State, and he suffered an injury too. But 4 dudes that could have played in the NFL had injuries not happen. Can you imagine a small school with 4 NFL dudes on it? I mean, that's hard to do in Division I.
I know.
And you think of Jeff Harding and Bobby Hoying, how good they were. My goodness, that team was outstanding. St. Henry beat Archbold a year ago, 27-19 and 42-14 in 2024. Archbold won 29-0 in 2023 and 34-10 in 2022. This has been a great game. Kudos to David Dominic and Josh Whirling for scheduling this game, because two really, really good programs, and this will be our Gamecast presented by the Gherkin Companies on Friday night. We can't wait to be down in St. Henry for this one, so we don't have to pick it. These two guys do, and boy, am I glad I don't have to pick it, because I have no idea which way I would go.
Yeah, I'll go first here. You got 2 great teams, 2 great conferences. Archbold going down to the heart of Mac country. Yeah, I want that lead pipe lock on this one. I'm taking Archbold. I think
Archbold lead pipe lock?
Statement game for them. I think they're making a statement this week against St. Henry. I'm not picking week 10 right now, but I'm just saying they're making a statement to Liberty Center that their program is keeping right up with them.
This guy's brave.
Crandall's fearless.
If it wouldn't have been for the break, this also was going to be me setting up the Blue Streaks, even though Tenora plays them in week 3. And I was thinking about lead pipe locking that one. But if you think about St. Henry, you have all the stats, just stuffed full of stats. How many times has St. Henry lost in week 1? Particularly then coming off the state championship. Oof, that is a tall order for the Blue Streaks to go down there and win. I will stick with the original pick and go with St. Henry over Archbold. Even though I'd like the Blue Streaks to be for real, I'd like to see that program. I have admiration for them. And then we'll find out where the Rams stand in week 3. So I'll let Ryan have his lead pipe lock. I gotta swim.
Have your lead pipe lock.
I gotta swim backwards, which is fine because I'm used to swimming upstream. That's all right. I'm gonna go back to Fairview over Delta then for my lead pipe lock.
Okay.
Mark it down.
Okay. Who did you have? Did you pick yours?
I had Delta. My lock?
Yeah, lead pipe.
Napoleon.
Oh, that's right. Napoleon over Maumee. Okay, so we've all handed out our lead pipe locks. I mean, make sure that's official. I don't want anybody sneaking out of here without making that. But, yeah, it should be a dandy as St. Henry and Archbold duke it out on Friday night on our Gamecast. Pre-game starts at 6:30, kickoff at 7 from St. Henry. You can follow us on our YouTube channel right where you're watching us now. Evergreen is at Ottawa Hills. Both Evergreen is 0-1 and Ottawa Hills is 1-0. Ottawa Hills went to Van Loo and picked up the win, so we didn't learn anything about the Green Bears. Evergreen fell to Delphus Jefferson.
You know what, man? Evergreen, I picked them. I picked them against Jefferson, and they didn't just lose. I mean, they got roughed up. But you know what? I'm going with them. NWAL. Give me Evergreen at Ottawa Hills in the Village.
I got the Vikes too.
Yeah, Evergreen lost 34-6. Ottawa Hills win 62. But I'm going with Evergreen as well.
I got some inside information. Evergreen's athletic trainer I was talking to today, he guarantees the win this week against Ottawa Hills. So I'm rolling with Santana, the athletic trainer. Go Evergreen.
All right, sounds good. Bellevue 1-0 is at Wauseon. The Indians fell to Fairview, obviously, a week ago. Bellevue, always a pretty rough and rugged team. They go to Wauseon and Harmon Field this week, but I think Bellevue gets it done.
Anybody that beats the daylights out of Clyde like that.
Was it 42-0?
42-0, a gaudy win, yeah.
Yeah, Clyde's a rough bunch of customers too, man, and they got pushed around by Bellevue. Give me Bellevue.
That was the stat that jumped out to me, the score that Bellevue put up, especially blanking the team. It's impressive, so I'll take Bellevue.
Okay.
Yeah, I got Bellevue as well.
Going to take our final break here from our good friend Jeff Marshall at the Versailles Feed Mill, and then we'll break down some more MAC games coming up here on Friday night.
Let me give
The Versailles Feed Mill wishes the Versailles Tigers and all the other area athletes the best of luck this upcoming season. We here at the Versailles Feed Mill are your local Hubbard feeds dealer and grain elevator, buying grain from area farmers such as corn, soybeans, and wheat. Family owned and operated since 1973. Come on out and see us at 242 Northwest Street in Versailles for all your feed and grain processing needs. Go Tigers!
Thank you to our good friend Jeff Marshall at the Versailles Feed Mill. He has been an outstanding supporter and sponsor of ours this season. His son, Nate Marshall, boy, he had a big game against Harvest Prep a week ago. Then they had the Kaiser kid on the other side. He was the first freshman to ever win the heavyweight state championship in Ohio history. He's probably going to be a 4-time state champ. The dude's an animal. You have Marshall on the other side. They were without their running back and quarterback a week ago, was Versailles, which makes that victory over Harvest Prep even more impressive. We'll get to Versailles and Harvest Prep here in just a minute, as Harvest Prep has another MAC Power coming up on Friday night. Fort Loramie is at Anna. The Rockets, no problem in week number 1. Rockets are really, really good. They're gonna roll Fort Loramie on Friday night.
I agree with you, Lynn. Give me the Anna Rockets.
Anna 60-0?
60-0.
Yeah. You do that in week 1, I don't care who you're playing. It's tough to pick against you. I'm taking Anna.
Yeah, I'm rolling with Anna as well.
Marion Local, a pretty easy win over Cary in week number 1. They go to Canal Winchester Harvest Prep this week. Is Colin Boff, who's headed to BG, a quarterback for Harvest Prep. They will welcome in the Flyers this week. The Flyers battling some injuries, I hear, and had some fresh faces out there, some freshmen playing for Tim Goodwin's crew there in week number 1. Don't know the injury situation for Marion Local this week, but have to go to Harvest Prep. We're going to find out a lot about Marion Local. A lot of people think this will be a little bit of a down year for Marion Local, but if they go to Harvest Prep and win this game, they may just run the table in D7. Mm-hmm. Now, they're going to have some big boys to play, the Versailles, the Coldwaters, the St. Henry, all those teams in the MAC this season. But does Marion Local, a big test, get it done on the road, Coach Strock?
The answer to that is yes. Harvest Prep, I can't get over their schedule. I mean, that thing is just outrageous. And Marion Local's going to have their hands full, no question about it. But I just have so much faith in their fundamentals and preparation. I think they find a way to get it done. Give me the Flyers.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Buff, Tenora blood
Yeah.
in that big boy.
Yeah,
Going
that
to
is
BG.
right, yes.
Both of his parents are Tenora grads. I played with his dad when I was a freshman. He was a senior. So it almost feels like picking against the Rams a little bit, but I just have too much respect for Marion Local. They're going to start off strong. When we talk about down years for teams like Marion Local, what's that mean? So I've got Marion Local circled on this one. They had a nice win in week 1. We'll keep things rolling.
I'm not going to be caught picking against Marion Local. I'm taking Marion Local.
I'm not either. I considered it, but the way they beat up on Carey a week ago,
And Carey, yeah, that score jumped out to me. Carey is
35 to
no
7.
slouch
Yeah,
for
Carey's usually
week 1.
has a pretty strong
Yeah.
program, but no problem for Marion Local. So make it a clean sweep for the Flyers in that matchup at Harvest Prep this week. For Sales, as we mentioned, 1-0 as they beat Harvest Prep. They go to Cincinnati Hills Christian Academy, who picked up a win a week ago. Oliver Brunswick ran for 129 yards and a TD for Versailles last week. He also had an interception. Played without Damian Barga, their quarterback, and leading rusher Landon Napke did the Tigers in week number 1, which makes, as I said, that victory over Harvest Prep even more impressive. I'm not going against for Sales. I've heard their line is really, really good, and I'm not going against Tiger Ball.
Nope, same here. You knock off Harvest Prep week 1, I'm picking you week 2 for Sales.
For Sales on the road, I'm rolling with you guys.
You know, I had this as a coin toss, and this was an easy one. After hearing you guys talk, I'm going for Sales.
They're a rugged bunch. I just think they'll have too much physicality for CHCA. PH did back in 2005 in that state championship game, and I think it'll be a little bit similar to that outcome. Coldwater goes to Clarksville Clinton Massey this week. Clinton Massey, always a rough and rugged program, but so is Chip Otten's Cavaliers. So I'm going to take the Cavs. They're going to get it done on the road.
Yeah, I like Coldwater on the road, but they're going to have some bumps and bruises. I don't think they'll come all the way up to the Defiance Physical Therapy Bump Clinic, but a couple of them are going to need it, but they're going to have a win to show for it. Give me the Cavs.
I've got Coldwater circled all the way on this one as well.
Yep, I've got Coldwater here.
Crestview, Convoy Crestview goes to Minster, but Coach Whiting and the Wildcats move to 2-0.
I agree with you, Lynn. Tough one last week for Crestview. They slugged it out with Paulding, came up short, and afraid they're going to start 0-2. Give me Minster.
Yeah, I think you guys are right. Crestview didn't put up a ton of points against Paulding, even though that was a close game. That was almost more shocking for me from a Paulding results standpoint. So I'm going to take Minster in this one.
Yep, I'm going with Minster and running away with this one.
Finishing up the MAC action this week in non-conference before they get into conference action next week. Covington 1-0 is at New Bremen, who is 1-0.
Give me New Bremen. Covington, man, a couple years ago.
The Bucks, right?
Yeah, the Bucks, Covington Bucks. They were so depleted numbers-wise a couple years ago. They could barely play, and they rebounded. They're 1-0, but give me New Bremen.
Yeah, I agree. Give me the Cards.
Totally agree. New Bremen.
Yep, I'm going to roll with New Bremen as well.
Can Parkway go to 2-0? Coach Leakey, they have Delphus Jefferson in Rockford on Friday night.
This became a much tougher pick, but you know what? I'm going with the Jeff Cats. I'm going with Delphus Jefferson.
You're going
on the
against
road.
the MAC?
Yeah, I am, because I was impressed with Jefferson week 1. I picked against him, and I paid for it. I'm going to go with the Jeff Cats. I think it's going to be a good game.
I disagree. Parkway.
Okay. I hope so. I want to see Parkway get to 2-0, boy. That league schedule is going to be murderer's row for them. I want them to go 2-0, but I'm going to pick Delphus Jefferson.
We used to go play Parkway for years. I never did, but when my brother was playing, yeah, I would like to see. I'm the same. Have you ever been in their gym, by the way? Parkway's high school gym.
I don't think I have.
Awesome.
We drove by it.
Yeah, I don't think I've been inside.
I mean, they moved the bleachers back, and they have like 3 full-size courts. I mean, we go down there for volleyball, plug the volleyball. It's a really cool high school gym. That's my side note of information about Parkway. And so since they have a nice high school gym, I'm going to pick them at home.
I'm going to roll with Parkway, but not because of their gym.
I like it. I hope they do.
Rounding out our slate of games this week, Allen East, the Mustangs are at Fort Recovery as they take on West Winning and Breaker Judy and the Indians. I'm picking all the MAC teams this week of the games that we're picking. Obviously not picking the St. Henry Archibald game, but give me our MAC team. Fort Recovery goes to 2-0.
Isn't that a great name? Breaker Judy. It's a great name. I'm not picking against Breaker. I like Fort
and he's
Recovery.
Like 6'4", 220.
He looks like a college tight end, but he's a running back. He's a horse. Give me Fort Recovery.
Yep, I'm sticking with the MAC as well as Fort Recovery.
Yeah, these picks just show the depth of the MAC, and give me Fort Recovery here.
That rounds out week number 2. Boy, it's going to go quick.
It's going to go real quick.
Yeah, month away from being halfway through the season.
It doesn't feel like it should be week 2, does it?
It doesn't. It did this morning, though, when you woke up and it was about 50 degrees.
That is true.
I felt like you needed a coat out there. I don't know if you guys wore a coat to work, but boy.
No, that's a sign of weakness. Don't
Oh,
let
it is?
me catch you. No, God.
Says the guy who on the top of the Archibald press box about 5 years ago.
I could have died that night, Lynn.
Yeah, he still complains about that.
I could have died that night.
It was about 55 degrees for
There's
full
a difference
disclosure.
between cold and wind. The wind will get you.
It was.
You can be in the cold.
It was brutal, and I thought we were going to be inside, and we end up on the roof. And it was.
You had that Carhartt jacket, that
No,
nice
I
Carhartt
didn't.
jacket.
No,
You didn't
I did-
have
we
that?
didn't have it
Well, then
yet.
you should have prepared and taken it with you.
I had a polo and then maybe a windbreaker shoved in my bag.
Something tells me it wasn't August, though. So
It
it's something
was-
about
it
don't
was
wear a coat in
Sep- it was
August, no
September.
matter what.
It was about week 8, and Wasion was in town, and I thought I was going to die.
Well, they could have got you back in shape if you were on the verge, right?
They
You know,
could.
treat
I'd trust them.
hypothermia.
Yeah. Maybe a pneumonia
You would have let him die.
I would trust these guys, though. I would trust them.
Ryan Crandall and Kevin McCann from the Defiance Physical Therapy, Bryan Physical Therapy, and their new location here in Napoleon at Napoleon Physical Therapy. You have a bump and bruise, you need some therapy, go see these guys. They'll get you back together. As I said, my golf game has never looked better. I've been carrying this guy all summer in golf outings. He putts. I let him putt.
I'm actually a terrible putter. I'm a wizard with the irons. You give me 7, 8, 9 iron, like clockwork.
He is pretty good with those clubs. But
Kevin Ryan. Custom irons, that's the key, isn't it?
Custom?
Yeah, you have custom irons?
Yeah, I got them custom fitted. Jim Eisman fitted
There you
me.
go.
Yeah. You guys golfers?
I have not made my token 1 scramble yet this year. I would aspire to golf someday, but it ain't happening anytime soon.
You know, I owe you a membership to a
That's true.
golf club, right?
That is true. Yeah.
Kevin and I made a big
Early on.
years
in our-
ago.
Yeah.
I bet him that Tiger Woods would never win a major again. It was almost as stupid as some of my picks tonight. And then he won a major years later.
Yeah.
And I bet a golf membership. And
And I think we made that bet when I had one child, and you had twins, and we thought we would maybe someday take up golfing.
Yeah. Well, my 4 boys are starting to get me to golf a little bit. So
Ryan
I'm
did
getting
come
into
in
it a little bit.
Yeah, a few weeks ago and said, "You'll never believe
I'm
what I
getting
did."
an itch.
I went golfing.
Starting to get a little
He
itch.
is since I've known him. He's sworn off golfing.
Yeah.
Like it was
Yeah.
hazardous.
Yeah.
Lynn, let's have these two play in a scramble with us one of these times.
Yeah, we need to. I don't know if we have anything
Scrambles
coming up.
my speed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a
That's
real
all.
serious one. I mean,
Well, they never are all that serious.
I don't know.
No,
One with a
yeah.
steak at the end. That's all my prediction.
Yeah, there you go. There you
We
go.
can do that. We can do that. Well, go out there and find something from Sattler Family
go.
Meats
There
in
you
the
go.
in the freezer out here. I don't know if you guys ever stop at
Oh, yeah.
Sattler Family Meats, one of our great sponsors. But what you guys throwing on the grill? College football starts this Saturday. There's a few
I'm getting my
games.
smoker out more often than not. I'm throwing just a good old pork shoulder.
I did a pork shoulder 2 weeks ago. I had a college buddy up, and he lives in Columbus, and he claimed his son never has eaten pork, which I took to heart. He pounded my pork shoulder, my pulled pork. So it'd been a while since I'd done one of those. I was very pleased.
You put a rub on it or anything?
Oh, yeah.
You do, okay.
Well, Dijon mustard, a rub. I was running behind, too. I really had to crank the temperature. I was nervous. I was not meeting my marks, and I cranked it, took a risk. It paid off. We ate on time.
I love it.
Man, I'm super pumped. My smoker from Texas, Coach, is coming tomorrow.
Is it?
Tomorrow.
You've been talking about this for months now.
I ordered this baby back in early June, and it's finally going to arrive tomorrow.
I'll just go for
Texas.
a round of golf and come to your place.
You can stop over anytime you want.
smoke
We
us
did our
some meats.
patio, and the nice thing is, everybody that did the work on our patio was football related. Dalen Lang, a St. Henry grad, his crew's from the Coldwater area, had some Marion local guys on his crew come up, so you know their job was going to be done well.
Gonna be done right.
And then I have Nate Baer from Liberty Center, a former really good linebacker here at Liberty Center. He's doing my my counter outside, putting some brick on, or not some brick, but stone on there. He's doing that for me. And then our furniture we got from Andy Schaefer's mom down at the Granary in Rawson.
Yeah.
So if you need some outdoor furniture, go see Mrs. Schaefer, Andy Schaefer's mom. Been in business for decades. Fantastic place.
Quality stuff.
Oh, yeah. This stuff will last my lifetime and probably 5 more lifetimes.
Yeah.
Stuff is great. So can't wait for my smoker to get here. We may have to run back quick on Saturday. We're not going to be dilly-dallying in St. Henry.
Well, you need me to show you how to use a smoker before you actually
I know my way around.
He's not doing a brisket for his first smoke, I'll tell you that much. If you're
I won't
coming
have
back from
time.
St.
I won't be
Henry.
back till about 1
He'll
o'clock.
probably put hot dogs on it
Yeah,
or
it's gonna
something.
be.
See the harassment that I take, and then you add these two guys in there, and can't get away from it. But Gamecast this week will be St. Henry and Archbold down in St. Henry on Friday night. Tune in 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock. Kickoff Saturday morning from Fishmo's, 9 a.m. as long as Coach Strock is able to attend. I may have to go alone.
Maybe for a while.
Yeah,
I'll be there eventually.
Maybe I can put some of the St. Henry guys on there, Mark Busher and Kramer.
I like it.
Those guys. I'm sure they'll be there early Saturday morning.
I like it.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to Ryan and Kevin for their support and for joining us this week. Thank you guys so much. Tune in Saturday morning.
you.
We'll hand out our peak performance courtesy of Napoleon Physical Therapy and a T-shirt going to the winner. Have a great week. We will talk to you again on Friday night.